morning everybody, happy Monday. I hope you've had a lovely week off and you're all raring to go this morning. Okay, so we're going to be moving on to another waggle, which is what a good one looks like, and we're going to be looking at how we can apply to find the features in it on a new text type which I'm going to introduce today. So just having a look at the text that we're going to be looking at today, what can you notice about this text? Is there anything that you particularly see, or that the features pop out? Is there anything that you see that you've noticed that you've seen before? Can you guess what the text type is? So I want you to pause the video now, have a little look at the waggle, and I want you to see if you can guess what type of text this text is. Okay, so now you've had a chance to have a look at it, you might have a chance to have a little read of it as well. You will have noticed that there are different things about the layout of this text. Now what I am going to do is I would like you to follow it with me. I'm going to have a read through of it for you to also have a listen to as well, and then we're going to have a discuss of it after. So, the Old Vine Tree, 3 Coach Road, Wakefield, WF3 2PT. Dear Grandma and Grandad, how are you both doing? I am missing you both very much, especially all the amazing chocolate cakes you make. They are delicious. Don't worry about me, I am great. I have been working hard over the last few weeks completing different maths and literacy activities, and now I can tell the time. This was a real challenge for me, but through perseverance, I have finally achieved my target of telling the time using an analog clock. Who would have thought that there are different types of clocks? Most of the time I am great as I am keeping myself occupied. You'll be so impressed with me. I have even planted my own plants in the garden, and I am taking real care and consideration to help them grow. Now I can see why you love gardening so much. It is very interesting watching these plants grow and blossom. I am definitely following in your footsteps. Sometimes I do feel a little under the weather as I cannot come see you both or my amazing friends, but I know that this isn't going to last forever, and it just means that seeing you and my friends in the future, it will make our meeting extra special. Today I have read an extra special book about a boy that learns to fly. This is something that I think would be amazing to do. Finding a quiet, tranquil area in the garden has really developed my love for reading, and I think this could be something you could do to keep yourself busy too. I know you have that lovely soft chair in your garden next to the colourful, sweet-smelling flowers where you could sit. This would be a fantastic place to sit and read a book too. I'm very much looking forward to seeing you again and giving you both an extra large hug. Lots of love, Sarah. Kiss, kiss, kiss. So now we've had a chance to have a look at the waggle, and we can now see that these are the features that link to it. Now it is an informal letter, so that means it's a letter when you write it to somebody else. So we have the address in the top right hand side of the hand side, dear, an informal introductory statement, exciting adjectives, telling your reader what you have been doing, asking your reader questions, mixture of long and short sentences, capital letters to start all names and places, generalizing words for style such as sometimes, never, always, generally, modal verbs including might do, may go, should do, could do, and then a correct informal ending. Now I want you to have a look at this list and see what do you already know, what features do you already know there that we might have used in previous text types that we've done before. Are there any there that you haven't heard of before? So I'd like you to have a think now, so pause the video, have a think, and then as soon as you've gone through those, you come back to me. So what I'd now like you to have a go at doing is I'd now like you to find these features in the waggle. So the waggle will be on Seesaw for you to have a go at having a look at doing and finding the features on. So I'd like you to see, can you find these? Now there might be some features that you're not sure that they are. If you don't know what these are yet, don't worry about that for now because we will be going into them into more detail. But if you can try and find as many of these features as you can in the waggle, and then as soon as you've done that you can come back to me and we'll see if you've also got the same as what I have. Okay, so now you've had a chance to have a look at the waggle, or if you haven't finished yet, don't worry about it. You could even go and have another read of it to make sure you really understand the waggle that we're looking at. So let's have a look to see if you found the features as well. So I'm going to start by having a look at the address on the top right hand side. So I look on my right hand side and I can see here is my address. Now remember, an address, we will be looking more into what these are, but this is where somebody lives. So the Old Vine Tree, 3 Coach Road, Wakefield, WF3 2PT. We will be breaking this down in lessons to come, so if you're not sure what an address is, don't worry about it too much now. Okay, let's have a look then. Have I said dear and who it's going to? Well, yes, I have. I've said it's going to my to a grandma and granddad, so dear grandma and granddad. Informal introductory statement. So if it's informal, it means that it's very relaxed. It's very like you're saying to your mum and dad. It's not like you're greeting the Queen, or if you're greeting the head teacher. It's very informal. It's very relaxed. It's very casual. So, for example, this one here where it says, "How are you both doing?" That's quite informal because you're asking them a question that is something that you'd ask them. You'd ask them how are they doing, so that you know exactly how your grandparents are doing. Have I got some exciting adjectives? Now, obviously, I'm not going to go through all of these because you should have got lots and lots, but I've got ones such as colourful, sweet-smelling flowers. To have a look, obviously remember an adjective is describing a noun or a person, place or thing or object. There's also about where is it, about a comfy chair, so you can say about a soft chair. So again, finding lots of different adjectives there. So I'm going to just do a couple, but you should have also been able to find those as well. Have I told the reader what I have been doing? You might have just given this one a tick because it says, because it has, Sarah has said what she's been doing. It says that she's been reading, she's been doing lots of work on time, so you have been doing that. Have you asked the reader questions? Well, we can see that yes, we've asked them how are they doing. We've also asked them other questions as well. So again, or giving them some idea as to what you've been doing as well as asking them questions. Have we got a mixture of short and long sentences? Well, we have, because we've said don't worry, or even they are delicious. So that's a short sentence, and then we've got some longer, more detailed sentences, some places where you're telling the reader what you've been doing. So we've got a mixture of long and short sentences, short for impact and long for more detail. Capital letters at the start of names and places, which I have used. So I can see that I've got the names of people. So we've got grandma and granddad. We've got Sarah. She's obviously the name of the person writing the letter, and they're in capital letters as well. Then to have a look at generalizing words. So looking for something like sometimes, never, always. Mostly. So again, I'm only going to show you a few, but you should have found where it says most of the time, I'm keeping busy, myself occupied. It says also in some other areas as well where it says a few of these words as well. So if you can find some of these words, fantastic. Sometimes is there as well. So there's just a few examples. Then if we have a look at modal verbs, we can see that we have used some modal verbs, so things like you should do, you could do. So we've got here that it says you could sit, we've got this would be, so a few examples there. And finally, an informal ending. Again, this is remembering that it's quite relaxed, quite you're saying it to somebody that you know really well. So for example, lots of love would be very informal, because you wouldn't say that like to somebody like the Queen. It's very informal rather than being formal. So why do you think these features are important? Why do we need these features when we're writing a letter? I want you to have a stop the video now, have a think, maybe have a discussion with your parents or with yourself. Why do we need these features? And now that you've had a go at thinking of these sentences, to write me some sentences down to tell me why you think they're important, but also what is the effect on the reader. So for example, it might be that you write a sentence to say, it's really important that we put the address at the top right hand side when writing a letter, because this tells the reader or the postman where the letter is going to go to, so it goes to the right person. You might say if we don't put the address on, the letter might not go to the right person, and so your letter will not be received properly. So I'd like you to write some sentences now to tell me about your letter, about the features, about why they're important, but also what effect they will have on the reader.